Hey everyone, welcome back to Eat the Cake Anime. I'm your host, Jay Renee. Listen, the month of May has been fantastic. We can't thank you guys enough for all the support that you've given Eat the Cake Anime. I just wanted to say that off the rip. It has been such an honor to bring you some of the animes that we love, some of the characters that we love, and we appreciate you again for all of your feedback. So, with that, it is the end of Villains Month. Yes, Villains Month was so interesting, and the feedback and the comments that we received, even the dialogue that it opened up, was unlike anything that we ever thought. So thank you guys so much. There's a lot of discourse about some of our villains, and also it got people interested in some animes that they otherwise wouldn't have, heard about previously. So to end this month for villains, I wanted to focus on a particular villain that was just automatically, I'm a mother figure, so everything is great. The villain that I want to talk about today is Isabella from The Promised Neverland. Now, The Promised Neverland, it was an anime. It was also a Japanese manga series that was serialized way back in August 2016 and lasted until 2020 with 20 volumes. So when it came out as an anime in North America, Viz Media was actually, licensed for the English release. The manga had such great reception that when the anime was released, it was like, okay, all right, good. Let's see what's going on. So basically, The Promised Neverland is about a group of kids. They're orphan children, but they're actually geniuses who discover that they have been raised for a nefarious purpose from their orphanage. When they learn the truth, they try to escape the demon world. So when the truth came out, they just started to think of ways that they can escape from this orphanage, or actually this farm, because they were being slaughtered like cattle. There are just certain things going on that unfolded. The first season, I can tell you guys, the first season was fantastic. The first season had us wanting more. We were always going to the next episode, this and that. It was 12 episodes from January to March in 2019. Then the second season in 2021, not so much. It lost, in my opinion, or the opinion of those of us at Eat the Cake Anime, it kind of lost that punch. It lost that darkness and like their purpose and how they were doing their things. But all that aside, now that's about the whole thing, the show. But let me tell you something. The villain is Isabella. Isabella, you guys, highly intelligent. Among the many women that were a part of this orphanage, she, took care of the children. She raised the orphans as her own, and to kind of make sure that they were in a loving, safe environment. That was the premise. However, Isabella, let me tell you something. You were raising the orphans as a food supply for the demon overlords. And for someone to have that, the self-preservation that she had was basically, you're leading lambs to the slaughter, so to speak. And it was so unusual to find in this day and age. Now, full disclosure, in the world we live in, we have a lot of things, you guys. We have homelessness, we have food deserts, we have illiteracy, and I'm talking about among the youth population. Youth, young adults, things of that nature. But a person like Isabella that is under the guise of raising children and offering them a loving setting, even in this demon world or this unusual world, there's so many different species that are around. And with the agreement or the promise that everyone can have their own separate worlds, you had people like Isabella who were tasked to, okay, some of these kids, their brains, their existence, is paramount to the rulers of the world. So of course you had the titular characters, Emma with her two best friends, Ray and Norman. They were always excelling, which of course made them targets. So when the kids left, it was all about, Isabella would tell them, yes, you're going to be adopted. It's going to be great, things of that nature. Y'all, this is a children's story, The Promised Neverland, that I thought in the beginning was just like a kind of dark fairy tale. Some of the things that we're used to watching when it comes to kids and, the history and the folklore of the boogeyman, or remember John Wick, the Baba Yaga, or just places like You Better Be Careful, the monster under the bed, these things are going to get you, but the more you go into it, you start looking and you're seeing, is it a reflection on today's society? Think about it. You have people that are doing, it's like mass production going on. You have people that are doing things for their own purposes, people changing the rules as they go along. And in this, I feel the villain, Isabella, was instrumental in the adoption process, or just basically keeping the promise going on. And let me tell you about this woman. This woman was so trifling. These orphans that you raised to do these things and to be a certain way, you offered up your own son. And what was that for? That was for basically the law of self-preservation. She was basically taking care of herself. So in the end, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, like, the redemption arc for Isabella. There is a redemption arc, but it was done more out of a sense, once again, of self-preservation and maybe fear, rather than the altruistic, I'm going to do the right thing, this is wrong, let's make this right. So that's one of the things that pulled me into Promised Neverland and made it so I did watch it. I watched both seasons, but when I tell you, the first season was spectacular. It was so different. It was a Hansel and Gretel on steroids with a little gore with some sinister elements to it. But then you turn around and you look and you say, okay, second season, here we go. It was so rushed. It wasn't meaningful. It wasn't deep. Some people kept recommending that, okay, just read the manga. But after watching a season and a half, I don't think there was anything that The Promised Neverland could offer to me specifically, other than looking at this highly intelligent villain like Isabella. And there were other, mothers and women and people in the show who were just as complicit. But the amount of care and love that she showered on these children, knowing full well that all the while they were going to be sent to this place, and adoption was, the furthest thing from it. And go watch it. I would recommend that you watch it. The first season is very good, but as I said, for a villain, and of course, we're ending out the month of May. It was Mother's Day. A lot of things were going on, things being very bountiful and plentiful and earth mother like. Yeah, but don't get it twisted. Isabella, The Promised Neverland, oh my goodness, she was one of the worst female villains that I could think of, because she always put herself before the kids, always. And when you're a parent, I'm told that's just not something that you do. If you're doing that, then you're obviously hardwired for something else. So we could talk about a lot of other villainous women characters in anime. You have Hiromi Shiota from Assassination Classroom. Now, that was an interesting one that I did want to touch on because the hero of Assassination Classroom, or the protagonist, is Nagisa Shiota, and his mother had a lot to do with what's going on with him, because when you watch Assassination Classroom, almost every viewer automatically mistakes him for a girl. It's because of the hair, it's the way he moves, it's his appearance, his feminine posture. But when you watch Assassination Classroom and listen to it, his monologue, or he talks, and he talks about how his mother, Hiromi, she wanted a daughter, but got a son instead. So because of that, she would, dress him a certain way. She would get angry if he didn't do some of the things that she wanted, and of course in Assassination Classroom, the teacher, came to his rescue eventually. But yeah, these are some moms or some animated female villains that are unlike no other. Asuka's mom in Neo Genesis Evangelion. Check it out. I mean, even Bakugo's mother from My Hero Academia. When you see her, you can see where he gets his explosive temper, the behavior, things like that. And Rin Soma in Fruits Basket. I mean, the list goes on. So let's not close out this month thinking that all villains are males, or these extraordinary creatures in these other dimensions and realms and things of that nature, like Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. It's equal opportunity evil, I like to say, when it comes to anime and things of that nature. So yeah, The Promised Neverland, Isabella, she is the one. You may want to check it out for that reason alone. All right, you guys, thanks so much. This has been a great month. Thank you so much for checking us out. Shout out to Z Media for all of the visuals. Thank you so much, Zani. You are doing a fantastic job. Your tribe is so proud of you. We're proud of you. And Eat the Cake Anime, this is a collaborative effort, you guys. We love bringing you these little nuggets of things that we like, whether it's anime, animated shows, films, things of that nature. Thank you so much. It's been a crazy ride, and we are so glad that you are on it with us. So until next time, don't forget, at Eat the Cake Anime, what do we say? It's okay to enjoy anime.